Good morning, everybody. Hello. Actually, by the time I get this posted, it'll be the afternoon. So, good afternoon, everybody. And if you're tuning in right after John's Long Box, thank you very much. I didn't get to watch the whole episode of John's Long Box because I got to the point where it's like, I need to get to work. I need to start getting some work done. So, and yes, Al is giving a dissertation on what happened last weekend. So you will hear his opinion in the background, which, remember, I'm in a public place. Everybody's allowed and entitled to their opinion, even if you don't like it. So just something to remind you if you hear something you don't like. So, and it was funny as how, like, John was like, when he saw me in the chat today, he goes, "Oh, there's Stippling. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule at the bar." I hadn't gotten to the bar yet. Yeah, the bar doesn't open till 11. That's one of the reasons why a lot of times I can be able to watch and contribute on John's Sunday flip through is because uh, I'm not at the bar yet. So, but and I'll tell you something. This week he was doing X-Men Annual. I think it's like number 8. I think it might be. Might be no. I think it might be 6. It's the one that has George Perez's artwork. I enjoy that book immensely just because of George Perez's artwork. Um, and when I tuned off, they hadn't even they'd introduced Archon at the very beginning at the Avengers Mansion. He hasn't shown up at the X-Men Mansion when I tuned out to do my videos. So you're in for a treat. I mean, he'll probably again. Maybe when I get done with this video, I can pop in and let everybody know on the show that I've just finished up my video commenting on this. And John, I gotta say, nobody is as in depth with a flip through book review than John. I've never had watched a video from anybody else that's as in depth as he is. He really goes into uh, the method of storytelling and really just embracing how the comic book genre with storytelling is completely different from other storytelling methods, and so I really do enjoy it. So it gets very in depth. He's even going as far as talking about like color theory with costumes, and it was just really good. And like one of the things he mentioned in his episode was how like these a lot of these stories in comic books these days is so so realistic, and I can understand why, because they're so they want to go for such realism. And plus, also, let's be honest, the reason why they put a lot of these pages and pen on pages of them having coffee is because they want it to be part of they want it to be part of a movie, which I think is just stupid because it's one of those where it's like, even if you told the best dialogue in a coffee shop, the Hollywood writers are still going to walk all over your work, but they're not going to be able to walk all of your work when it comes to action, and that's what comic books are. And getting back to my point with this realism is, I think of it this way: is, and I said in his show, how you have so many people wanting to tell these realistic stories, but yet the artwork is so abstract and so amateurish that it doesn't match. I mean, you really think about it, especially like this is what I think really irritates the hell out of me. Is there's a reason why there was okay. Let's say it was a coffee cup. The reason why coffee cups looked generic and unique in comics back in the day because you you were limited with the amount of uh, reference material that artists had to go with. Um, it's always been like whereas like they used to have what was called the files, the flat files, where they would have these filing cabinets upon filing cabinets of reference material that they would use for drawing. and so there are a lot of times they were limited, and that's the reason why a lot of times, if they, it's the reason why a lot of times like their cityscapes, like if it was Metropolis or Gotham, the cities looked relatively the same because they were using the exact same reference material. And now with computers and Google Images, you can. If I'm telling a story in Louisiana, you have all the reference material at your fingertips to make sure that it looks like Louisiana and New Orleans. Whereas in the past, it would be, is that Louisiana? Because is that New Orleans? Because it still looks a lot like New York or Metropolis. I mean, that's the reason why, in some ways, I liked how DC had their fictional cities. That way, they had, you could still like take shots of Manhattan and just use it for Metropolis, and everybody believed it. But now, with everybody having these Google Images, okay, if you're telling these realistic stories with all these talk scenes, I'm sorry, when you have these artists and the artwork is so abysmal, that doesn't work for me. I mean, all these artists should be, because of the level of reference material at their disposal, all of these artists should be doing hyper detailed realism like George Perez. I mean, that's the reason why. I mean, and I'm really disappointed at how we should have an entire generation of artists trying to emulate George Perez because they have all the reference material where George had full blown libraries, and George has even said when he was doing it for interviews how he would go on vacation with his wife overseas, and he'd bring home so many books so that way he had reference material, and how it was such a pain in the butt for him to uh, put them in his suitcases to get them back home. Whereas now, I mean, if I'm over at, I mean, it should be so easy for everybody. If you had to do Florence, Italy story, be able to Google it and watch YouTube videos, and when you have to draw it, it'd be line for line, looking just like it's Florence, Italy. But still, it's almost like artistically, all these artists with all this information at their fingertips, they've regressed, and it's so annoying. It's one of the things. I mean, if you had more and more artists like George Perez, you could do full issues of Talk, and people would be buying it because of the artwork. So that's my thing. Is where what I'm seeing is like there should be so much more realism in the artwork, and it's not. So, but no, I mean I enjoyed it very much. He gets really, really in depth. I mean, so and so one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is our family has increased in size. No, we did not have a baby. 2 weeks ago, uh, I'm here at the bar, and Miss Stippling goes, "Hey, I need you to go over to the storage unit, and I need you to bring home all the cat stuff." And I'm thinking to her, "Oh man," I didn't say it to her in the text messaging, but I'm thinking to myself, we we agreed that when we got that we would get a cat once we had a new house that was bigger. And I don't want you to give away all of our cat stuff, but I was like, it's no point having an argument on via text. I'll just bring the stuff home and we'll have a talk then. And then maybe some of the stuff she wants to get rid of, we'll get rid of, but by and large, no, I want to keep the stuff. Well, I come home, and who's sitting on the dog's couch? But a cat. And the dog is looking up at me like, "Look what she brought home. This is horrible. What are you going to do about it?" And I'm looking at her like, I thought we were going to wait. Let me back up. I wanted us to get a cat now while we have our place because I'd rather have the cat piss all over the place here, get it out of its system, so then we have a new house. It doesn't decide to, it's going to piss all over the place. Get a new cat, and then it pisses all over the place, and we got to get rid of it. I'd rather us go through that at this place. So I didn't. Getting a cat was not on the bingo card, guys, but we did. And it was on the first day of Shark Week, and the cat was part of the stray program, catch and release. And what they do with strays in Pennsylvania is when the Humane Society neuters them, what they do is they clip their ear, so that way everybody knows that okay, it's a stray cat. It's been neutered. You don't have to worry about it. So I was really surprised. So it has a chunk taken out of its one ear. Like I got bit, and it was the first day of Shark Week. So she was like, I think because it's a black cat and had white paws and a little bit of white on its chest, she was like, I'm thinking we should call it Sylvester. And I'm like, no, it's no. This is the first day of Shark Week, and it's got a chunk taken out of its ear. It's named Shark Bite. So yeah, we have a cat by the name of Shark Bite, and Shark Bite is a very playful little boy. And that's another thing also I wasn't too crazy about was the fact that it was a boy. How we got it was her friends had gotten it and had found it on one of their walks, and it was in a garbage bag, and it was all like covered in piss. So it was like somebody like just didn't want it and just discarded it. So they got it, they released it, and they had it home for a week, and they were having to keep it in their garage because they had already had cats, and the other cats had already made it perfectly clear that they did not want this cat in their house. So after a month and slowly making remarks to Miss Stippling agreed to take it. So we have a cat now. So hold on, I gotta switch to a new piece. I know the video's almost over, but still, I want to switch to this other piece because this one's all basically done. I don't. You know what? I will. I'll do that one. I'm not going to do this one because it's going to compete against his head, but I'll do that little uh, Tim Burton Tim Burton wave. So we'll do that one. But anyway, um, he's a very playful little guy. He wants to play with the dog. The dog doesn't like it at all, but the dog's not like snapping at the cat. So the dog's kind of like, oh, come on. Like, it's funny because I'll come in with the dog after walking it and it poops. And she comes in the door and he's right away, like bouncing all around the dog. And I'm like, come on, let's play, let's play. And the dog is like, oh, God, please, no. And I've gotten to a routine where what I'll do is I will, uh, the dog gets a treat every single time it poops. So what I'll do is we come inside and we go to the counter where the dog treats are, and we have cat treats. So what I'll do is I'll have in my right hand I'll have the dog treat, in my left hand I'll have the cat treat. So I'll kneel down, I'll give the dog, or on my right the dog treat, and then behind me on my left I'll set the cat treats on the ground and just like use my body to block the dog so the dog doesn't really see. I put the cat treats on the ground, and then Shark Bite then eats his cat treats. So he's uh, he's adapting. He really likes looking out windows. So I had to reassemble. We had like two small cat trees. I reassembled them, and he just likes to sit on it and like look outside. So he likes looking outside, watching the squirrels and the birds. So he's it's so far things are going well with Shark Bite. Very playful. Um, Amazon Days was just this week, so we took advantage of all the sales, and we got a bunch of now new cat toys. He likes them a lot, so yeah, it was definitely a Christmas in July for cat toys for us. So, but like I said, he seems to be really enjoying it, and he's adapting well to us. Um, the dog has mommy issues. The dog's always following mommy around, so the cat follows the dog. Like, where are we going? Huh? Where are we going? We gonna have some fun? So, as a result, the cat uh, follows mommy around a lot. So mommy has two shadows, one canine and one feline shadow. So, but so yeah, I'm liking this. Okay, guys, I'm gonna finish this off air. I want to get this video posted so I can let everybody in John's Long Box know, so they can come over and check it out, so they can find out. Oh, he was saying how like I stipple and I stipple the bartenders and I stipple the waitress. I am not stippling Dakota. Okay. Now, if it was Dallas or Diana or Alicia, yeah, I'll stipple them, but I ain't stippling Dakota. No, I'll. No, I mean I might take a Sharpie and stipple her in his hand, but no, I ain't. I ain't stippling Dakota. No way. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video, folks. So I'm gonna finish this up. You guys have a great day, and remember, life. Life is stressful, but just take it all one dot at a time.